partners with History San Jose, and they document the history of the entire Santa Clara Valley. And if you are interested, as Marjorie has said, to plan ahead and give things over, History San Jose is a good archive. It's huge, it's a big archive, and that would be a very good archive to give photographs and anything else that you would want to donate with oral history.
Yeah, there's a name for that, right? Like the San Jose Film History Project or something like that?
Yes.
California Pioneers.
California
That's
Pioneers.
it, yeah.
The thing is, you know what? If my experience speaks to anything, the people I ask, could I speak to, you have something to say, they all say, no, I don't. I don't have anything to say, I don't have anything to give. My pictures are my pictures. And so it takes almost somebody else, maybe a son, daughter, friend, neighbor, whatever, to say, that's very cool. That's very cool.
If you're talking to someone, if you're interviewing someone who says, I don't have anything to say, how do you know what track to take when you're asking them questions? How do you know what questions to ask to get them to tell you things?
So, it's always tricky, but I do have a few tactics. And one is, if I can understand their age, and for example, in the case of Thursa Quant, can you show me your photo album from when you were a child? And there's the pictures of her handicapped father. It's like, you know, or I don't know, can you show me the pictures of when you were a sailor at Moffett? Or can you, you know, pictures kind of jog the memory a little bit. What was it like, you know, this is a story I tell my students and they're aghast, but my mother told me this story. And she couldn't get silk stockings during World War II because everything was rationed, and so they took an eyeliner pencil and drew the line at the back of the leg to make it
I heard that story.
And my students are like, number one, why would you want silk stockings?
My mother-in-law did.
You know, and number two, you know, so. If you can capture something, and you know, is it fashion, or is it somebody's work? Is it their family history? And then if you get into some family histories, you know, people don't want to share, and there might be good reason for not wanting to share. So you can't really invade on that. So,
if you're part of like a historical society and you want to have a project that you go out and you interview people, my interest is in lighthouse keepers. What's your advice as to when you ask them to sign a release, how much rights should the organization try and get? How much rights would it be reasonable that the people retain? Say, for example, photographs. Do you always ask for permission to reprint them in a book that you're going to make money from, or do you not ask them for that?
So that's a good question, because even for the data that people told me, I had a signed authorization, you know. But what I did was I gave the people the quotations I was going to use so they could, you know. So I'm going to interview you. I'm going to take my notes, I'm going to write it up, and I'm going to give it back to you to approve. This is not journalism. This is going on a museum wall for the next 50 years. So the person has a right to decide, I shouldn't have said that, or you didn't hear it correctly, whatever. You want to get it right. As for photographs, these people gave the Sunnyvale Historical Society permission to use that image once. And there was a place to sign off. Would you prefer that it's not used in any other medium? And all of them signed off, you can use it whenever you want. So they were given the option. It's their photographs. They really have the rights. But it's in the best interest of the society to get it in writing, so because this is what happens. the grandchild comes back and says, you used my grandmother's image and I own it and I'm gonna sue you. So you want something in writing. You can't say your grandmother said it was okay. She had to sign that it was okay.
One more comment, sorry. If you're recording somebody on audio, whatever, and you got the good story and you're saying something good, very important, shut up. Do not talk over them talking. Very, very important. Otherwise, you try to use it in a film, you try to use it in a video, it's useless. So, very important.
I've just done some work recently with a filmmaker, and I've gotten really good about just. I'm a prop. I understand that. Okay. Well, I appreciate your attention, and I always enjoy coming to Sunnyvale because it feels a little bit. It's so familiar with all the history that we've all worked on together. So thank you very much.